أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم بسنته الدين أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry for the delay. We got a little bit due to some technical difficulties. But inshallah, we'll continue in our Power of Duaa series where we left off last week on Friday. And today is Monday, March 30th. We continue with the Power of Dua series part 10. Today we'll be covering the special times when the dua is accepted and most accepted and most closest time. That is what our topic today is, inshallah. Because last time we talked about the ingredients and etiquettes and what things keep us away from the dua being accepted. So, what are the 10 different times that dua is the most accepted and most beloved, most chances of it being accepted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? First of all, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran about the sifat of the believers, the properties of the believers, that وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. And Surah Dhariyat, Surah 51, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that in the wee hours of the night, in the darkest time of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning, in the time of tahajjud, ashar, it comes from seher. Seher means darkness. So in the middle of the night, وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ, they are making istighfar or forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is mentioned in Surah Zariyat as a sifa, as a feature, characteristic of the believers, meaning this is something that the believers do on a regular basis, not something that you do when you are in trouble, like somebody is in difficulty, so they want to make dua and they want their dua to be accepted. But rather, Allah is defining the qualities, the characteristics, the features of the believers in this surah to show us that they are in verse number 18, Surah Dhariyat, Surah 51, verse 18. Allah says, وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ, that in the middle of the night they are seeking forgiveness. So a believer makes a habit, makes a regular, what you call, part of their life to make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a regular basis. Because we do sins unlimited. We do mistakes and sins and shortcomings knowingly, unknowingly. Do you ever count how many mistakes and sins you did today or we did today? No. We don't have any count. We don't make any kind of accountability that how many mistakes I did today. So we do mistakes and sins on a daily basis so many times unknowingly, uncountingly even, that it should be part of the habit of the believer to make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a daily basis every night. Even if it means we just get up for a few minutes and just pray 2 rak'ah, salatul tahajjud, and make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah says here. Because that time, the time of tahajjud, the time of the middle of the night, is very, very beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah listens to the dua. There are so many numerous ahadith of Rasul sallam that tell us through those hadiths that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very forgiving. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very, very merciful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very accepting at that time. In fact, is there anyone on earth who wants forgiveness? I'm willing to give the forgiveness. Is there anyone on earth who has a need, a haja, and I'm willing to fulfill their need? So in that hadith Qudsi, as we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is wanting and desiring to give us at that time. Why? Like Rasul said in another hadith, وَالصَّلَاةُ فِي جَوْفِ اللَّيْلِ, and the prayer in the middle of the night. Jawf. Jawf literally means your middle part of your body, the stomach. So the middle of the night is where it's right in the middle between Isha and Fajr, a whole night, let's say 8 hour night, it's 4 hours right in the middle. Smack in the middle is the middle part where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the person. Now Rasul is saying that at that time the prayer is the most demanding on your body, on your personality. Why? Because everybody's sleeping, you want to sleep, you're also tired, fatigued, who doesn't love sleep? Everybody loves sleep. So sleep and slumber is something that comes on top of the body. And at that time, shaitan is the most aggressive at the time of tahajjud. It's most aggressive at sleep, take rest. You don't need to get up and make dua. You don't need to get up and pray. But on the contrary, Allah's mother is saying, is there anyone who needs any help? Is there anyone who needs any fulfillment? And I'm ready to fulfill. Is there anyone who needs any forgiveness? And I'm willing to give forgiveness. So timing is the essence, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. And today our topic is about what are the times when dua are the most accepted. This is time tested and the most experienced time for dua to be accepted, tahajjud. Anything you need, anything we need, anything we desire, just get up on tahajjud. Like Allah says in Surah Dhariyat, Surah 51, verse 18, وَبِالْأَسْحَارِ هُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. Although the ayah here is saying that in the middle of the night, that they are seeking forgiveness, embedded in the ayah is that besides forgiveness, they are asking for anything from Allah, and Allah gives them. So, first of the 10 timings where the dua is most accepted is the time of tahajjud. By far the most top rated time, time tested time, experience. Everybody who has gotten up for tahajjud and make dua, even if you can get up just for even 10, 15, 20 minutes, short even time. But most important thing is to make it a part of a habit of life, doing it every night, as opposed to doing once in a year or once in 6 months or once in a month. It's better to do it on a regular basis, at least once or twice a week, to gradually build upon it and make it a habit of every day, every night. طيب. Next to most important time for dua to be accepted is waqtul iftar, at the time of iftar. The time of iftar when a person does iftar at that moment, whatever dua they're asked, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts that. Because of the fasting, because of what they have done, and because of the we can say the sacrifice that the person has made in terms of hunger and sleep and thirst for the whole day. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving them the best at that time in terms of the dua of the sa'im. The dua of the fasting person is mustajab, is accepted. And so therefore we should make a lot of dua at iftar time. And that dua at iftar time should be with khulus and all the other ingredients we've spoken about in this series before. Third most important time is bain al-azan wal-iqama, between the azan and iqama. I know for us living in the Western world, we don't get to hear the azan and iqama, but you can make a habit in your houses that when you're praying, give azan and then give iqama. And so that time between azan and iqama, even at home as you are praying, it is a time for dua, especially for those who are going to the masjid. In regular time, even when you go there, you give the azan, and between azan and iqama, whatever time there is, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why it's important that between azan and iqama in the masjid, we are not talking. A lot of times it happens that brothers are there and they're socializing and they're chit-chatting, interacting, and somebody has given the azan in the masjid, but they don't realize that now is the most precious time. This is the time that you don't want to miss, and you want to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is why it's very important to understand and realize. And then the fourth important time is between Dhuhr and Asr on fi Yawm al-Arbi'a, on the day of Wednesday. as it has been proven many of the hadiths that, and also in terms of specialty in that time, seeking istighfar. The fifth most important time is on the day of Friday, Yom al Jum'ah, according to the hadith of Rasulullah, that there is an hour on the day of Jummah where the dua is most accepted. According to some scholars, it is the time of the Salatul Jummah when you're praying Jummah in the masjid at that time. Some say it's after between Asr and Maghrib. Some might say between Jummah and Asr. And so, therefore, it's very important that the day of Friday is very, very important for the believer. That day of Friday, we should be making dua from the morning till the evening, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at different intervals, especially when we're going for Salatul Jummah to the masjid, asking over there, especially when the Imam sits down between the two khutbahs at that time, making dua. So these are important times for today that we understand and realize that on a Friday, the reason I'm covering these times is that we become cognizant about it, we become conscious about it, we memorize it, and make it a part of our habit, make it a part of our lifestyle. That at these times I'll make dua and ask Allah. I mean, a lot of times people have this attitude, oh, I have nothing to ask right now. That is impossible. We are always in need. We are indebted to Allah. We are always in need of Allah. So there can never be a point where we can say, I don't need right now to make dua. When I need, I'll make. We always need to make dua. The least we need to make dua is asking for istighfar, asking for maghfirah, that, oh Allah, forgive me, forgive my sins and mistakes and all that. So let us conclude with that today. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue with 5 other times, inshallah. What are the other 5 times and moments during the day and night where we can make dua and it is accepted? Let us make dua now to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma anta salam, minka salam, tabarakta rabbana wa ta'alayta ya zal jalali wal ikram. Allahumma innaka afuwwun karimun halimun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار والحقنا بالصالحين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعلنا من النار، اللهم اجعلنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. اللهم إنك عفو كريم حليم تحب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار والحقنا بالصالحين يا رب العالمين. اللهم يا شافي الأمراض يا شافي المشافى اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشفهم شفاء كامل لا يغادر سقما يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارزقهم الصحة والعافية في بدني وجسدي يا رب العالمين. وصلى الله على محمد وسلم على آله وصحبه برحمتك الرحيم. Inshallah, tomorrow night will be again at 8 o'clock. Don't miss it. Sorry for the delay today. Assalamu alaikum.